I'm not your teacher, Mr. Pacitti, and this is not my classroom. You see, Adam Pacitti, as a result of lockdown here in Blighty, has decided to move in with Mojo Rawley in his second home of SmackDown. So he's left me with yourselves to grade Monday nights of wrestling. And whether our journey together lasts just one day or for many, many months to go, I promise you at the very least, we will make it to WrestleMania by hook, by crook, or by Boneyard. This is Raw Graded. Raw kicks off with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar following a scintillating promo to build to Lesnar versus McIntyre at Mania. Here is Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar in the center of the ring. First things first, Emma Willis, they've moved the hard cam. Brilliant decision. We're now no longer looking at a whole phalanx of empty chairs. We're looking at the ramp and it looks so much better. Feels so much bigger as well. Paul Heyman is absolutely on form here as well. He has adapted to this so quickly. He talks about how Drew McIntyre is a made man after eliminating Brock Lesnar from the Rumble, but he won't beat him. He talks about how Drew McIntyre needs to say a prayer, but the prayer line right now is showing a busy signal. And he talks about how Drew McIntyre is just a wannabe that's gonna get douched out. Oh, verbiage by Paul Heyman. Given the opening segment an A. I think the world needed some semblance of order, and even Paul Heyman says it in the promo, where we are lacking certainty and normality. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar doing their thing in the center of the ring starting Monday Night Raw. That felt fine. That felt normal. We're living in the upside down now. I was happy to see that a thing. We then get to watch the entirety of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins from the Royal Rumble a few years back. Very good, very good, very good. We then get AJ Styles on the stage with the Good Brothers. The OC are in their pomp tonight after we see footage of the contract signing last week that saw The Undertaker decking Gallows and Anderson. AJ Styles is a bit more confident this week. He talks about how WrestleMania is over 2 nights. He doesn't know whether their match is on the Saturday or the Sunday. Depends what night. Michelle McCool lets The Undertaker out. Oh, banter. He's digging on The Undertaker here, talking about how Mark Calloway has got a Twitter, he's got an Instagram, and this is the daddy of bits. It really is. They show the video of The Undertaker and Michelle McCool in the pool with the Tigers. Like, that beautiful bit of memology is now canon in WWE. Big fan. This all leads to AJ Styles saying that he doesn't want to fight the selfie-taking Mark Calloway at WrestleMania. He wants The Undertaker at WrestleMania of old, and he's going to put on a match that's going to bring the old Undertaker out. He is challenging The Undertaker to a Boneyard match. He says he's got a plot to bury The Undertaker in, next to where Michelle McCool has buried his career. Oh, banter to the very end. This was a B+ for me. AJ Styles was great here. Tripped on a couple of his words, but apart from that, it was all good. Really, really, really good. The Boneyard match, I've had to think on this. You know how the talk is that John Cena and The Fiend are going to have this Hollywood blockbuster style extravaganza set in a warehouse and all of that jazz. I wonder whether they're going to give the same treatment to AJ Styles and The Undertaker. I want to see at WrestleMania AJ and The Undertaker fighting in a graveyard. You know, kicking over tombstones and all that stuff. It's the weirdest WrestleMania we've ever had. We might as well double down on it, you know? We might as well just go all in and just have AJ versus Undertaker in a graveyard. Let's do it. Tag team action next. It's Andrade and Angel Garza teaming up. Earlier on, they were backstage being interviewed by Charlie Caruso, who fancies Angel Garza, and Garza knows it, and he's beating a slimy Lothario. Oh no, he's gonna break some hearts, is that boy. They're teaming up tonight to take on Ricochet. Why have you shaved Ricochet? And Cedric Alexander. They've got matching gear. Please don't make them a tag team on main event. Thank you. A few minutes into this match, the Street Profits come out. They're, of course, defending their Raw Tag Team titles against Garza and Andrade at WrestleMania. So they're out to scalp the competition, / make a whole load of crowd noise in the empty Performance Center. This was excellent to have these guys out there because they're talking from the diaphragm throughout all of this and bringing it all to life. The match itself was great. Ricochet gets a beating for the first part of it, manages to hit a Hurricane Rana off the top rope and make the hot tag to Cedric. Some great tag team techers from Cedi and Ricky. At one point, with all super kicks flying everywhere, Montez Ford asks, "Is there a super kick party happening on Monday Night Raw?" Well, see what you do there. Cody Rhodes cupping ear dot gif. I see you. They get loads of time in this match. Cedi gets beaten down by tag team offense from Garza and Andrade. They're showcasing their stuff ahead of their tag title match. Ricochet gets in the fight, flies out of the ring to wipe out Garza. But as all this is going on, despite hitting a Michinoku driver, Cedric Alexander eats a back elbow from Andrade for the 1, 2, 3. Well, technically it was a 4 because the ref counted 3, but his hand didn't quite touch the mat, so he didn't make the clapping sound, so he just gave it another good go. So technically knocked him down for a 4. And Andrade and Angel Garza win the match. They are gloating to the Street Profits after the match, saying, "Hey, come on, have a bit, come and have a bit." The Street Profits roll into the ring. They brawl very briefly, and then Garza and Andrade get out of there, stand on the ramp and go, "Hey, come on and have a bit." It's that old adage, isn't it, of "Come over here and say that," to which somebody walks up to you and says that, and you go, "All right, now go over there and say that." It was basically this. Giving the match a B, I thought everybody had some really strong tag team moments in here, but it was, the story, of course, was Garza and Andrade just being no good baddies and showcasing how strong they are as tag team friends. But Ricochet and Cedric did look good as a tag team. I have no qualms if they want to go down the route of making them a tag team, but just don't make them a tag team on main event. Like, oh, don't do it. It's like buying the latest Mac and using it as a coaster. Don't do it. Back from break, and the Street Profits are still in the ring. They've got a match right away against Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. Shane and Brendan get a couple of bits in here, but this is a showcase for Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, and they finish them off with the cash out. Question. Tell me what you think about me. No, question, right? The cash out, is it the Spinebuster Frog Splash combo, or is it just the Frog Splash bit? Let me know in the comments. C+ for me. Wasn't a whole lot going on here, but it was a nice showcase for the Street Profits as the Raw Tag Team Champs going into WrestleMania. It was good. We get a recap of Riddick Moss losing the 24/7 championship in his own neighborhood to R-Truth. What happened to social distancing? Come on, lads. After this, we go back to the ring where Charlie Caruso and Shayna Baszler are sat with a spotlight on them, and Charlie is chatting to Shayna Baszler about numerous things, but Baszler's giving no answers, just trying to intimidate Charlie Caruso instead. Baszler just starts answering her own questions, saying that she loves to destroy things. She says that Becky Lynch's Raw Championship means the world to her, so taking it will destroy Becky Lynch. Suddenly, we hear a crack. Shayna hits the floor, on come the lights, and there's Becky with a steel chair. Buff to the back, and away she goes. Becky Lynch has left a mark on the back of Baszler. See you at WrestleMania. Thank you, please. This gets a B from me. It was simple but effective. Shayna Baszler intimidating AF. Becky Lynch gets a little piece of her just before a week on Saturday or Sunday, depending what night the match is on. I'm looking forward to it. The hubris of Becky Lynch will be certainly the talking point of the match, but hey, we'll talk about that another time. Up next, it's Alistair Black versus Leon Ruff. Black steps into the center of the ring silently. Even the commentators fall silent. He sits down. Leon Ruff is like, "What are you doing? Let's fight. Leon Ruff swings and misses, gets his foot caught, eats a black mass. 1, 2, 3. Alistair Black wins the match, and that is done. I'm giving this a B, right? And I'll tell you why. It's beautiful use of the new aesthetic that they have currently in WWE. This empty arena and Aleister Black silently walking up to his opponent, not even the commentators talking, just letting that silence echo around the room really adds to the mystique of Aleister Black. The one thing that people forget in broadcasting and in presenting is one of the most powerful tools that you have at your disposal is silence. It's good, isn't it? See what I mean? And I love this. Great use of it. Get to be. Kevin Owens is out next and he calls out Seth Rollins. Out comes the Messiah and he cuts a hell of a promo here. Talks about how the Performance Center is where Kevin Owens was born in WWE, but it's a different story for Seth. He talks about starting in a dilapidated warehouse where he was told everything he's learned has to be forgotten. He talks about the struggles he had through there, and he says it's because of the amazing work that he has done that the Performance Center was built, and he takes the credit for NXT and guys like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano and the Undisputed Era and the Women's Revolution. He takes credit for it all, and he takes credit for Kevin Owens. Just as he's heading back up the ramp, Kevin Owens tries to talk and Rollins cuts him off again and talks about WrestleMania. Says Kevin Owens has got a less than admirable streak at WrestleMania, but as for Rollins, he's done everything at Mania. And when the pressure is on, he is a god. And Seth Rollins takes his leave. Owens didn't get a word in, but my God, the wording from Rollins, brilliant. Give him this promo an A. Oh man, what I love about it is, and we know why WrestleMania isn't happening at Raymond James Stadium by now, but the fact they're able to repurpose this and make it feel special, the fact that it's at the Performance Center because it's where Kevin Owens got his start and it's where, you know, wrestling was built essentially in WWE land. So the fact that they were able to make this feel like it was the plan all along was phenomenal. Rollins was ace on the microphone here. Like some of his best work in a while, in my opinion. I thought he was incredible. I'm ready for Rollins and Owens at Mania now. We watched Charlotte versus Asuka from WrestleMania a couple of years back. Very good, very good, very good. Charlotte is backstage with Charlie Caruso, who has earned her money tonight. And Charlotte says she has an amazing record at WrestleManias and she's going to become the first woman to win the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. See you week on Saturday, Rhea Ripley. Woo, etc. The final spot of the night belongs to Randall Keith. Randy Orton has the microphone here and he says everything he has done to Edge and to Beth Phoenix has been out of love. He talks about how Adam Copeland is a junkie for Edge. He says that he was accused of having everything handed to him. He goes through his list of accomplishments: youngest Intercontinental Champion, youngest World Heavyweight Champion. He says that when Mick Foley passed him the torch, Foley then turned around and dropped Randy Orton onto barbed wire thumbtacks. Onto thumbtacks, not barbed wire thumbtacks, that'd be painful. Drops him onto thumbtacks. And through all of this, we're getting clips of Randy Orton through the years, which is a wonderful element that they've added just to bring this to life a little bit more. I think it really, really works. When it comes to the last man standing match challenge, Randy Orton ends by saying, "You may be writing this comeback story, but I am going to write the final chapter. I accept." And we're on for WrestleMania. I'm ready for this. This was an A. I sound like a broken record, but this was a great promo by Randy Orton. Just great use of the camera up close, great use of production to put the clips in as he's talking. Like, we're in weird times. You might as well just use everything you've got at your disposal. And it was just a really powerful, cutting promo that went straight through the lens. Very much like Edge's did last week. I really liked it. And overall, I'm giving Raw this week a B+. There was lots to love on Raw this week, and I feel like they're really finding the sides now with this new sort of setup that they've got heading into WrestleMania. This could be the norm for a while. We do not know, but they have found their feet, and if they keep putting out shows like this with added elements the way they have, It's gonna be all right. I'm grading on a curve because obviously, you know, this is a very different Raw to the one we knew a couple of weeks ago. We're just rolling with the punches here, but they've adapted really, really well. I, for one, am ready for what is probably gonna be the most bizarre WrestleMania that you and I have ever experienced. Let me remind you of the Boneyard match. Stay safe. Love you, bye.